Declaration of Independence is regarded as the United States of America's most important document. This document, which was drafted in 1776 by Thomas Jefferson, is hailed as a symbol of liberty, and it marked the birth of the United States of America. But why was the Declaration of Independence signed? What was its purpose? I am ShieldBro6 for the History Armada, and today that is the question we are answering together. The ideals expressed in this document continued to be upheld by the American society to this date. Considering the great significance of the Declaration of Independence, I am going to tell you and highlight a couple different reasons why the Declaration was signed and what its job really was. The Declaration was to serve as a notice to all nations of the world, but most importantly, the British Crown, that the American colonies were proclaiming themselves independent and free of the British rule. The Declaration served as a formal document expressing the reality that the colonies were announcing their independence to their former rulers. The 13 colonies that endorsed this document wanted to be recognized as a state by the international community. The Declaration affirmed the right of the Americans organized into the 13 states to enter the international arena on a footing equal to other states. No longer were they going to be considered just colonies, no longer were they going to be lapdogs of the British, but they wanted to be internationally recognized, and this was their notice. It was putting everyone in the world on notice, hey, this is who we are, and we are proclaiming ourselves independent. The Declaration of Independence was written to act as an explanation to the international community the reasons why the colonies were declaring themselves independent from England. It wasn't just saying, hey, we're free now. No, it was telling them the reasons why. It was a list and a notice of we are free and this is why. This is how we were wronged and this is how we are planning on governing ourselves. It was a very important declaration, not only to Great Britain, but the rest of the world. Great Britain, of course, was very keen to maintain its hold on America, but the colonies were very set that it would not be so. And as we now know, it did work out that way. Other European countries ruled by monarchies might also have opposed the move towards independence by the colonies. A lot of people kept a weary eye on this. The colonies therefore needed to explain their cause of action to other nations from whom they sought support. Armitage confirms this by noting that in its early decades, the Declaration inspired more attention and commentary outside the US than it did at home. I will have a link to his writings as well as particularly what he is speaking of. The Declaration was explained that the American Revolution would not transgress European statecraft or incite rebellion or revolution elsewhere in the world. They're like, hey, we're not trying to get everyone else to rebel. We're not trying to spread our message. We just need our own rule in the Americas. The Declaration was meant to act as a justification for the decision by the colonies to break away from Great Britain. It was very important for them to tell the international world why this was happening and try and garner that goodwill from the other nations. The Declaration articulated how Great Britain had lost her right to govern over the colonies, as shown on the map here, and should therefore grant them independence. By providing a well-written list of the grievances that the colonies had against England, the document was able to justify to the rest of the world why exactly they wanted their freedom. You can see here the English possessions on the right, matched with the Spanish possessions in Central North America from 1763 to 1783. The English possessions of the 13 colonies finding independence and the Canadian territories remaining under British rule. At the time when the Second Continental Congress was convening, not all delegates and Americans supported the move to sever ties with Britain and achieve independence. So the document also aimed to appeal to those doubters and demonstrate to them the importance of uniting against Great Britain, as seen here with the famous join or die political art. Bile documents that after this declaration, colonies that were accustomed to dealing with the crown recognized that there was security in union, end quote. Meaning that this was a very important document that was a heavy hitter, and it was showing why it was necessary to sever ties and how, if done so, the colonies needed to work together. Because if it was 13 separate small nations, they were never going to survive. So part of their message was, hey, we are severing ties and we have to stay united. Otherwise, it's never going to work. Once the Declaration had been written and printed out, it was distributed to the colonies and read in public to the citizens of the colonies. The document therefore helped to gather support for the quest for independence from regular citizens and delegates alike from all the different states. It was used as a rallying cry, which led to the American War for Independence, which lasted from 1775 to 1783. And you can see here with the Royal Proclamation line of 1763, the Proclamation of Indigenous Territories, French possessions, population density, and then the notable battles with victories of the British and Allies, Patriots and Allies, and notable settlements. You can see those different points here if you ever want to pause that. It's a good map. Really love this from the World History Encyclopedia, showing how this Declaration of Independence led to these battles and this war. So, in this video, I set out to highlight the main reasons why the Declaration of Independence was written. However, I know I did not dive deep into the exact reasons, but it can be summed up as no home rule, taxation issues, grievances with the crown, and the fact that they had no representation back in England. Those accumulated in this declaration where they justified their severance to not only Great Britain, but the rest of the international world. It has confirmed that this document acted as a formal station of the intent of the colonies to sever ties with the motherland and enlist the support of the American citizens and foreign nations in its cause to do so. This document was able to achieve its goals, and not only this, but as a result, the independence of the great nation of what would become the United States of America was guaranteed. So there you have it, a short explanation of what the Declaration was and why it was written. Very short, I know. If you guys want a more in-depth video where I can actually dive into the different reasons listed in the Declaration and the different grievances that the colonialists had, let me know in the comments section. Maybe I'll make a future video. But thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed figuring out just a broad explanation of why the Declaration was written. Like I said, there's going to be 2 books by Weil down in the comment section below. One by David Armitage, one by John Weil, talking about the Declaration of Independence and why it was written and why it was important. So thank you guys so much for watching. As always, I am ShieldBro6 for the History Armada, and I'll see you in the next video, if there ever is one. Thank you so much for watching.